Today I want to talk to you about what could be the most important Appalachian rule. One that even the skeptics here in the mountains say that you must, at all times, be aware of. If you hear a baby crying out in the forest, in the mountains, you never go looking for it. Even the people, like I just said, who are very skeptical about the unwritten Appalachian rules, I think this is one that even they are mindful of. And I can attest to this because I have actually heard this. One time, many years ago, I was probably in high school, a teenager. I used to stay in the hills hunting, fishing, just going on walks. And I remember one time I did hear what sounded like a baby crying. But even at that age, probably 15, 16 years old, I knew it was not a baby. And you may be asking, why is this the most important? Why should this one supersede all the other unwritten Appalachian rules, which I plan on getting to? I'm going to post videos over all the Appalachian rules. But this one, I think, is the most potentially dangerous one, and one that people will break, not meaning to. First reason, as human beings, if we hear a baby crying, especially out in nature somewhere where there shouldn't be a baby, our natural response is to go investigate, to check it out. Anytime a child is in distress, it's just hardwired into our DNA. We need to see what's wrong. We need to help this poor innocent baby, this little child. But here's the thing you really need to ask yourself: why would there be a baby out in the mountains of Appalachia? There is no reason. I'm not talking about heavy tourist areas where there are a lot of people around, where there actually are children and babies. That's a different thing. Like a popular hiking trail in the Smoky Mountains, you'll see a lot of children. I'm talking about when you're out in the wilderness, alone, or maybe you're with one or two other people, and off in the distance you hear a small child or a baby crying. Never go and check it out, unless you have reason to believe that there is maybe children in the area or a baby. But again, how often is that? The truth is, the things out there, the Appalachian cryptids, mimics, ghost spirits, but at the end of the day, demons, they'll use every trick they can just to lure you deeper into the forest. To what end? I don't know. This also isn't to say that you won't hear what sounds like adult voices, male or female, crying out for help. That does happen too, and I'll cover that in a future video. But this one is more specific toward children or small babies. And here's the kicker too, and this is the reason I believe it's demonic at its core. Because demonic entities know what triggers us. As human beings, as individuals, we all have individual triggers, things that we like, dislike, things that bother us, things that don't. But at the end of the day, 99.9% of us have a soft place in our heart for babies. And I think this is also a trick they do because, God loves everyone, adults, children alike. But I think it's more of a mockery toward him, using the most precious thing in the world, a baby, against us. And there are some folks who believe the end game, we don't know what that is exactly, but a lot of people go missing every year in Appalachia. People on the Appalachian Trail, or people who go hunting or fishing, hiking, whatever it may be. They're never seen again. A couple things I think about are a couple stories come out of the Smoky Mountains. You had a little 6-year-old boy in the 1960s who went missing pretty much right in front of his family's face. They immediately began searching for him. He was never found. The United States Army, Green Berets, even helped in the search. Another young lady, she was a teenager. A few years later, same area, Smoky Mountains, she went missing with all of her classmates around her. I'm not saying that there aren't evil people out there who do things to people. Absolutely they do. But it's those ones that you can't ever figure out. The ones that law enforcement can't figure out. You know, I've been in law enforcement over 20 years, and most of the time you find something, some kind of clue. Even if you don't find the person, something that adds up. Yeah, this person was unalived, or they ran off on their own, they met someone. But these things, there's like no clues, nothing left behind, nothing. Evil is real, and for one reason or another, Appalachia seems to be one of the epicenters of that. And don't get me wrong, I love Appalachia. It's absolutely beautiful. If you've never been here, I recommend you come. I don't try to scare people away. I think if you've never been here, you should definitely come. Check it out. But be mindful. Be vigilant. Know that these things are really out there. They may appear to you as a ghost, a headless figure, a Bigfoot, dogman, mothman, or a baby crying. I'll admit, when I encountered this when I was a teenager, my first instinct was, I need to go check this out. But then it's just like either the Lord spoke to me or just that reality set in, and I thought to myself, there should be no baby out here. This was wintertime, very cold, no other people. I wasn't close to homes, houses. There were no missing children in the area. I knew. I got that, and I had that feeling in the pit of my stomach where you just know. You know when something's up, like that sixth sense I think we all have when you can feel someone looking at you. You just know. I think that we have that hardwired into us. Now, I will also say this, and I have encountered this. Take the paranormal out of it for just a moment. There are animals in the mountains. Panthers, mountain lions, bobcats, predatory animals that can sound more like a woman screaming than a child, but I could see where you could confuse the two. I have encountered that, a black panther. It stalked me one day when I was about the same age, and it sounded just like a woman crying, like terrified, scared, like someone was after her. But I knew in that moment what it was too, because I had also seen it. So you just have to be vigilant for natural reasons and the unnatural, because they are both very real. And it doesn't matter if you believe in it, they believe in you. So the next time you're in the mountains of Appalachia, and this probably is true for mountains, the wilderness, anywhere, stay vigilant, stay aware, and for God's sake, if you hear a baby crying in a place you know there should be no baby, do this. Pray, turn around, and leave immediately. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos just like this where I go over all the unwritten official rules of Appalachia. Tell me in the comments which one you want to hear next. And if you've ever heard a baby crying in the wilderness of Appalachia or anywhere else, let me know. Please hit that like button, turn on all notifications, and subscribe. That's the best way you can support me and this channel. You can also follow me over on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook as The Supernatural Sleuth. Or you can send me an email at thesupernaturalsleuth@gmail.com if you have any story, picture, or video you would like to share. Thank you so much. Have a great and blessed day. See you soon.